Today is Father's Day, and I have my friend, Dave Gold, who is going to help me do this talk. We decided to do this a long time ago. It's not because I'm that lazy now that I'm taking a nap every day. But I did an interview with him and his wife and two stepchildren, and our idea was that a lot of families here are actually blended families. They come with, many of us have remarried, and we have stepchildren, so we have a direct experience of this. Some of us are stepchildren, and so it just seemed like something to help build the whole strength of the family in this church, which I think is one of the fundamental things that is going extremely well in this church, is that the youth and the whole family support system is stronger than it's been at any time, maybe than any time we've ever had it, but it's certainly very strong right now, and it's a real pleasure to see so many kids here. So we thought it would be appropriate for a lot of people directly, but also because the same skills and the same ability to be a human being with someone else that it takes to be able to be a stepfather in a family that's already organized and tight are the same skills we would need for almost any situation, whether it's work or developing friendships or just unraveling our own life. I was really struck by several things that they do extremely well, one of which is to love, the other one is to commit, the third is to communicate, and the fourth is to be vulnerable. And so I'm going to invite Dave up now.
In my own experience, that kind of paralleled the shift when I went from a man who was looking for love outside of human relationship, to discovering it in human relationship, was going from scarcity of love to an abundance of love. Because it's easy in a blended family situation where it seems like you're playing a zero-sum game. Newsom, I talked about this before, I felt that if I loved my stepchildren too much, my own daughter would be, feel slighted. Or, it just seemed like no matter where you pulled, something else is pulling, and you're losing something by giving something else. And then I just fell into this incredible love that had befallen me and that has just continued to grow over the course of almost 5 years now. I realized, no, this is nuts. She loves those kids, as much or more than she loves me. And I love my own daughter this way. And so going from this idea that, no, there was a finite amount, and I had to figure out how to parse, I had to ration it. I had to figure out how you put here without taking there. You just let that go. And this is what I experienced this in your church. There's an abundance of love. I find that I could actually love my way into this. That my desire to just love more was finding, I look in the rearview mirror and there was some attribute that I'd fasted and prayed and all this other stuff trying to get rid of. It was just behind me because I loved my way past it. And so I made a prayer that whatever stood in the way of me loving Julie more would be removed. And that's so much better than a spiritual path, I can't tell you. It just kicks the butt out of a spiritual path. To just be driven by love. And then whatever needs to be removed will be revealed. And it doesn't mean there's not willpower. It doesn't mean, you don't bring the fullness of yourself and all the qualities and attributes and tools, whatever we have going for it. It just means that it's no longer out of a sense of lack. You're not starting from a place of imperfection. You're starting from the fact that this love is perfect, and I want it to be Isabella wasn't sad that I was replacing her dad. She was sad that she was sharing her mother. Isabella, when her mother told her, just went to pieces and said, Mama, this was our time. I've waited 13 years to have you all to myself. So the resentment that she naturally felt, that she was waited for this moment, and here it was, and some guy just swoops into her life, and this wasn't anybody's plan. And she resented me. She resented me deeply. And I'll fast forward to the end because we have a business around this family blending, and I was recording a video with me, and she just said, well, now you're my best friend. So, how you go from that total resentment to the best friendness, again, you can't reverse engineer it, but what I aspired to do was I was just going to love them and wait them out.
One of the components, I think, of making this work was what Isabella, the daughter, said, rephrased what I called it vulnerability, and she said, I think it's more like transparency. And one of the things she really appreciated, that she told us, was that she really appreciated Dave being transparent
Isabel
with
said,
it.
"You never tried to bribe me. You never tried to be something that you weren't." And this is the confidence that my love for Julie is stronger than any of my fears. So my love for these children was just strong enough to bring out the best in me. So I guess if I was, I'm kind of pontificating here, but you have that overarching power of love and the mystery of love and just being available to love. And the vulnerability piece is that if you think of the prayer that I made early on, it's been my path. What's in the way of me loving her more? My armor. And that's the vulnerability piece, whether it's with your blended family or anything, is that the relationship, there's a one-to-one relationship. The more vulnerable you are, the more connectivity you're going to have. But then the universe knew there was something bigger than I could imagine. So for what it's worth, and I don't think this is formulaic, but it just happens to be my story, take it for what it's worth, I put out my prayer to the universe, and the universe answered 10 times more than I could ever ask. Whatever it is that you love, you follow that. I don't know how to tell you what to follow it, but just mean that's already the gift. You've already been shown the light. And I'm sounding biblical here, but if whatever that love source is, just the way that I leaned into my love for Julie, and that opened up love into every other aspect of life, what does it feel like to love? What's the bodily experience of loving? How does your life react when you're looking at life that way? And maybe the advice I get, I said the first one, I turn on, I don't care if it's a Walmart clerk or the cable lady or, whoever it is, I just see how much fun can I have? How much love can I have? How much can I tell them how much I love this person, how much I love my wife, I just play at life with the love that I have. And it's a beautiful way to live. It's a vulnerable way to live. And I would just say, take the love, feel it, experience it, and then just play with it out into the universe. Be curious. Don't feel you're coming from a point of lack. But just feel the abundance of love you already have. Bring that out into the world and just play and see how the world greets you.